almost 5 years ago now, I uploaded a video called Best Migration Ever, which honestly, to this day, still is probably the best and most ridiculous migration game I've ever seen. However, the graphics were old. It was 5 years ago, and my commentary was much worse than it is now. But anyways, if you want to watch that, you can. But this guy commented on my extras channel where this full series was posted. That migration game was the best migration game I've ever seen. So, hope you enjoy the best migration game that commenter has seen. It might be the best one. I don't know. All right, so game number 2 it is. And as expected, we've got Ganji here in the blue. His number 1 pick on his home map is the Italians. Italians, so good for this map. Not a map that we've actually, or not a civ we've actually seen as frequently as others, like maybe Japanese, Dravidians, or Malay in gold. And the reason for that is because the fact they were banned. A lot of players didn't want to allow the Italians to be played. I think I'm going to remove my mods for this one, by the way, just because there's so many fish. And I don't think bigger trees are actually that big of an issue for casting migration. Sorry about that. I've got to rework some things. But cheaper up to each age, cheaper fishing ships, cheaper dock techs. I don't know why Ganji's clicking so much with his scout right now. He actually, it should be better for you economically to wait until this deer is almost finished. That way there's not as much decay. And he has nothing else to do. Did his APM spike there? Not really. They're both clicking their scouts a lot. But yeah, I just saw him clicking around. It kind of got a chuckle out of me. But yeah, that's why Italians are strong. They also have a good tech tree. They have the condos, which can be a sneaky surprise in Imp. Cheaper university upgrades. It just feels like all the things you utilize on migration are so good for the Italians. The Malay, though, are similar. Advancing faster to the next stage is the big one, but they also have more vision on their docks. If they end up fish trapping later, which doesn't usually happen, but if they do, their fish traps have like 2,000 plus food on them, and they've got pretty solid tech tree for the types of fights you tend to see here. But I think the dock vision and advancing up to the next age is kind of the biggest thing. And then they obviously have really good water tech tree as well, so they've got good options. I'll show you the difference in the dock vision because there's going to be at least one person out there who is going to be extremely satisfied with what we see with the vision here. Ready? All right, so we're not going to look at barrels first because that's going to ruin it. This is going to change your life, right? It's going to make you a Malay fan. I also forget if it's a team bonus or not. I feel like it is a team bonus, so if you ever teamed with them on water maps, it could be nice. Okay, so this is the normal dock. Notice how you can't see a deep fish. You know there's probably one out there, but you can't see it. So you're just like, well, that's cool, but that's not that exciting. Here, whoa, look how much you see. Look how far you can see. You can see the other shoreline. So, I mean, this is honestly a pretty unlucky dock as well. You dock somewhere else, you're going to see like 4 or 5 fish. So, yeah, that is very satisfying bonus. And, you know, extra vision's satisfying for me. Like Byzantines getting the extra vision when they go up through the ages. Oh, free town watch, free town patrol. Something about it, man. And yeah, so team with the Malay on a water map or like Nomad or something, and you will get that vision for yourself. Okay, so the builds have all been fast castle builds and all been centered around fires from players who really want to win migration. Players who really know migration. I can think of one game where galleys was the play, and it was from Sito against Dragonstar, but Dragonstar was Khmer, a civ we never saw played by anyone else on migration, and it was kind of weird, and things went wrong there. So, again, one game... it worked. Like 4 or 5, it didn't. And players were changing their strats. Players were just like, galleys is too much micro for migration. I need fires instead after a while. And so I'd be shocked if we see anything other than that moving forward here. Haki, we're going to have the big trees just for this game. All right? Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at the trees. Look at the trees. Appreciate the wood dangling from the lumber camp, which we never really pay attention to. Yes. Lots of detail here in that lumber camp. I have a mod for when I play that adds borders to every single fish, and it looks obnoxious on a water map, and I've just got to remove that and didn't, so we're just going to have bigger trees. Like I said, shouldn't be that big of a talking point. There will likely be no action on either player island. A lot of the action will happen on water. And then there will be some action on land, but it shouldn't take away too much from the action. Yeah, slam on galleys and it wasn't the best. I agree. Yeah. And actually, this is going to come off a little bit brutal, but at that stage of when slam went for galleys, I feel like it's borderline inexcusable, right? Like, maybe he'd seen it before, maybe he thought it was good, but I just think it's a bad strat, and it showed that he was underprepared for the decider. In theory, it can be really strong, but the reason it's not that strong, guys, is because it takes so long to get to the enemy side, and then your galleys are constantly split up. So it's like you might have a couple galleys here, then a couple galleys here, and fires in low numbers can be much stronger. Not to mention, you don't have to put as much focus on them as a player, so you can focus more towards the middle area, which is really important. So yeah, it was 10 fishing ships as the average for players who've clicked up on this map before. We've got 8 fishing ships currently for Barrels, and he just churned out the 9th one. We've got 10 fishing ships moving up towards 12 for Ganji, but remember, he saves a lot, being Italians. But he forgot a mill, so he does need to make a mill. That way he can make a market and a blacksmith. And yeah, there you go. You don't actually need the mill for the blacksmith, to be clear. You just need the mill before a market. And I've seen players forget it, like right here. He has forgotten it. Now, maybe he's intentionally delaying it. He's actually adding a barracks as well, so I think he might want to go for a stable. That was the other thing I was going to mention, is players like to go for stables in the middle now. Some players, that's an adjustment. And we saw that meta kind of form throughout Gold. He's not spending his wood on anything except a couple fire galleys right now, so he's just roaming around. And Ganji goes for the blacksmith, and Ganji goes for the market. Does actually get pop capped, which, if that affects his dock production, that would hurt, but it doesn't. Obviously does set him back a villager, though. So it is notable. And he's on his way. Now there's an archer range for Barrels. Huh? Okay. Alright, so of course, adding Navy. He wants to go archers in the middle. I mean, Malay are great with archers. This is just new. It's not necessarily bad. He wants to kill those villagers when they come across. Look, he's looking. He's looking for them. Where are the archers? We're looking for you. He doesn't see anything. And he's delayed his uptime. Like, he hasn't clicked up yet. And he's honestly, he's still quite a few resources away from clicking up. So I think, like, if the archers don't find a payoff, I think he could be a big trouble on water against Ganji's navy. Ganji going for the more standard approach. We'll probably see him bring fills. But you've got to get loom. Oh, interesting, guys. You know, you're just sending villagers to the mainland, assuming you're going to be fine. So you don't get loom here for Ganji? Oh, that could be really awkward. That could be the difference between the strategy, you know, not being a game winner, but really having an effect and not at all for Barles, who's even getting Town Watch for vision. Here, Barles was able to find some of the fires from Ganji. Ganji's fish are going to see the dock, actually. And there he goes. Okay, but does Barles see this? This is so important. Like, you need to you need to move out here with loom. This is a mistake. He might have time. It's just, does he remember? He sees the docks going up. He's getting the war galley upgrade. He's dropping that TC. Barles can't see it. Barles has the archers. He's waiting for the vills. He can't see it, guys. There's no loom for Ganji. These villagers would die. This is a big break for Ganji here. Not to mention he found the dock, and he'll probably be able to kill it before it disrupts too much. Does the outpost see it? The outpost sees it. There go the archers. And does Ganji see the archers? He does see the archers. So now he's probably like, am I going to get this TC up? He's not going to get this TC up. And Barles is going to make sure these villagers stay here, too. Without Loom, those villagers will die very quickly. Look at this play. Guys, Barles is going to kill the scout. And then here, you just have to click onto each villager. There's no Loom. The vills will die. And the TC has been denied. With Loom, maybe there's a chance. But the strategy pays off for Barles, guys. Really well played from him. To stop that TC, it's all about migrating, right? So if you know the opponent will be doing it, it's best that you prioritize blocking it and stopping it. Now, where this gets really fun, and I don't think I've been more pumped for a migration game the entire of TTL Season 3, is that now Barles could be completely obliterated on water. Because there's 11 fires versus 1 for Barles. So if Ganji just keeps looking, he's going to find the transport, he's going to find the fish, and there's going to be like no fishing ships for Barles at this stage, which is obviously horrible. He is going to have vision in the middle, and he is going to have a TC, but no fish versus 12 fishing ships means that the eco count's actually even. And Ganji, if he keeps his transport alive, which he has, Ganji can actually just make a couple knights to, in theory, clear this up. But some big issues for Barles, or rather for Ganji with how this is played out, is he sold 100 stone earlier. And so he has 0 stone, so he can't make another TC. The other thing is, this TC, if it goes up, it's kind of been lamed, right? You can't really take gold there. So it really is set him back. But what a fun strat here from Barles. We'll see if it pays off. We'll see if it's worth it. A lot of players this season have made monks in the middle, and you can tell after he finishes this, he's going to end up doing that. There's a transport with villagers. Did Ganji see that? I think Ganji knows something's up. There's a scout attacking, by the way. No! Villagers! Well, villagers are here, but Barles is going to deny another building. He's going to deny this monastery. That monastery will not go up. The transport ship goes down, but villagers made it. And ripped to the Ville. Now here come the knights. And Ganji must know that the new villagers are here because he saw the transport. This is so rare, dude. And okay, you can clear this up now. Which in theory means that he should be able to try and finish his TC, but it's taking so much time. Barles has played amazing. A really good strategy today. It's like he knows. What I love about the strat from Barles here, guys, is he knows what's good on these maps, right? Like there's been practice involved, and he's watched a lot of how gold played out. More quick walls from Barles because he sees this. His archers are slowly disappearing. More reason to make monks for him. And monastery will complete for Ganji, and Ganji will kill the villager, possibly. And then he's also going to finish the TC, finally, on the mainland. He's bringing a lot more vills. He's bringing a lot more knights. This knight, though, gets deleted, actually. Ganji knew it would get converted. Guys, what a game. What a fun game. Okay, so look at the res collected. It's super close. Ganji's going to have the food eco, which means Ganji could have the food eco to make light cav. He's getting light cav. He's going to make scouts because the monks are a problem now. But then you've also got stone income from Barles, which could be for future castles and towers or something through the middle, which he has vision on. Honestly, feels like a position where maybe Ganji overmade knights. Players are so good these days that I think that's an actual conversation to have. Whereas 2 years ago, you just think, well, it's not a waste. It's a knight. Knights are so nice. War Galley upgrade coming in from Barles because he's trying to get a dock up here. 2 docks, actually, to contest Ganji's fish. And Ganji deletes another unit because the monks are there to convert it. Barles getting atonement because he knows there's going to be knights and he knows there's going to be monks. And he thinks, I can convert the knights already. With atonement, I convert the monks. He does not see light cav yet. He only sees the knights. And yeah, he's got crossbowmen. And yeah, that's good in support of the monks, but it's not like he has a lot. And it's not like he has lots of upgrades. I agree. I think a good call right now from Ganji would be to transport the knights to the base of Barles. That's not something Barles has really accounted for. But what a smart decision to wall this up, guys. +2 armor. He might go to the mainland. If he's getting that much armor, he wants to be underneath TCs, I think. Also, great call from Ganji. See where he's moved his fishing ships? He's hidden them. There's more fish here anyways. This is an amazing migration game. Unfortunate for Ganji that he's on the little narrow area of this island. And Barles knows that. Barles is starting to get vision elsewhere with outposts and whatnot. Where are those knights? They need to be transported. That has to be the play. Transport them directly here. Things like maybe both players have forgotten about that possibility. Or maybe there's just not much Barles can do about it. Is there a hole here? There's no hole. He didn't know about the walls, guys. He didn't think about it. He wanted a big attack here. He's not going to get it. He wanted an attack. He wanted a castle drop. He's going to drop a castle now. And now he's going to hop into that transport. And these things could loop around. And Barles needs to remember that that potential is there for his opponent. Here come the light cap, though. +2 armor. Lots of monk upgrades coming in for Barles. There's the light cap. Barles wants to drop a gate. And it's not going to happen. It will actually happen. Well, now this gate's open. And now she's dead. And now the gate's closed again. Well, dicey times. Oh, there's a hole there for Barles. The light cap make it through for Ganji. And Ganji's been able to hold on. Look at his KD. He's killed 32, now 37 units and lost 6. Because of the crazy water control he's had. And obviously he lost a couple of villagers on land, but that's been it. It does feel like this should mean race to Imperial Age now for both of them, right? You both have a castle. Trebuchets would be super valuable. And yeah, Ganji, he knows the melee are faster to Imp, so he's going to rush it by using the market. And it all happened at once here. Still has light cap to maneuver around with. Still has some knights too. Like, there's some real potential for him. And he'll definitely click up before Barles does here. Ganji, I thought he was really going to struggle to know what to do. Oh, transport ship! Oh, wait. Oh, now all the monks converted to transport, but the light cap's here. Oh, that's so funny. That is such a funny moment. Those poor monks are like, damn, I thought he was going to stay inside there. I thought he was going to be ours. And now Ganji immediately uses the transport ship. He's actually going to do what his opponent should have done to him and transport to the islands. And this might give Ganji the idea that he needs to try it as well with all these fire ships around. Guys, Imp is coming in for Barles now, in case you haven't noticed. Oh, don't lose that knight. What? Oh my goodness, that could have so easily been a conversion. Anyways, light cav are still running around here. Obviously, you've got the castle war as well. And this is going to be a race to trebuchets and maybe hand cannons. And Barles, he's got more villagers. He's got quite a few more villagers. And he will be faster to trebs. And I think, like, he has more space to work with as well. I think this could be really good for him. Transport's going to bring a villager and some monks. I don't know if that's been spotted by Ganji, but it seems like he's almost expecting it. No, he doesn't know. There's a monk and a villager there. We'll see what happens. There's it. Okay, landing here. Sorry, knights are in Barles' base, and Barles took big damage here. And now Ganji's going to drop his next castle here. An interesting play when this becomes a treb war towards the middle, but I like the chaos it brings. So we've got a double island raid, a double landing, and we'll have a treb war. Barles is making the treb, which you could forget about when you're being castle dropped. Here come a few more villagers to make sure this castle completes, and I think Barles might need to abandon this island soon. At least he's got some stone income in the back. Is this monk walled in? That monk is walled in. What guys? These guys are both incredible. Seriously, like the level these two are bringing is ridiculous, and it's still so freaking close. This will get dealt with now, thankfully enough for Ganji, who's going to have fast fires. And one treb here is probably fine, but there's still some big problems on land for him, I feel. Because, like, he's going to lose the Trebor. And then Barles had already researched monk upgrades to convert bombard cannons. He already got redemption. So I don't think it's that difficult for Barles to continue this push. And what Ganji's hoping is that he can make bombard cannons to push back the Trebs. That's not going to happen. Like, this landing, I think it needs more than just trebbing things down. I think you need kills. You need a bigger economic lead right now if you're Ganji. And maybe some desperation transports this way, which feels so difficult. Barles, if he can just hold on to the mainland, he could absolutely win this game. He's been taking worse fights. He obviously has had worse eco. He's got way less on food, and he will have even less on food because of this. But yeah, like, what do you do here to save your villagers? Towers? When there's a Treb? I don't really have the answers. Castle far back here from Ganji, who's aiming to make a bombard cannon from his only siege workshop here on this island. That siege workshop is going to go down, so the bombard cannon is not going to come out. Here comes some light cav from Ganji, though. That's the play. Light cav. And the monks that are here are going to die. And these villagers need to escape. And these villagers have nowhere to go right now because they cannot escape if there's fires here. Transports need to be coming from Barles, but he needs Navy first, which means that Barles needs to push. He's dying here. It's painful. It's sad. It's atrocious. He needs to push. And he can do it. That's the exciting thing. He could actually push. He's got the better army comp. If he had the monks here too, he's actually forgotten. He's got 4 monks in those monasteries. So those are the monks I'm expecting him to find. But Barles, you've got to make it happen, dude. You've got to move. He only has 2 trebs in the middle, I'm noticing. He's really run out of resources quickly here. And now the castle's being trebbed, but the monk's going to go convert a trebuchet. Don't kill it. Convert it. Can you imagine? Oh, it was deleted by Ganji. Ganji deleted that because he didn't want to lose it to the monk. Dude, then Barles could have just trebbed this castle back. Oh my goodness. Okay, so, again, will Barles remember that he has these monks? Okay, he has now. So, he's now hoping that he can use these monks to convert these bombard cannons. That's the goal. I saw he got redemption earlier, and the monks do not have block printing, so he would really need the 12 range first. Condos. Condos are good if you have food eco. In case you guys haven't realized, it's messy. Fish traps could be huge, though. But if you lose this castle, you then lose the dock where the fish traps are around. I also don't like condos against monks. I think light cav is what needs to continue to be the play for Ganji. Wood and gold on to bombard cannons, and then food onto light cav makes the most sense for me. Timing is everything, though, and Ganji has a lot of time to balance out his eco and make his next decisions. Yeah, I like the condos here, though. You're right. This is a really good spot for the condos. Yeah, no, it's all good, Michael. It's all good. You're generating conversation. That's what it's all about. Fun things to talk about. Fun things to think about. How can Barles hold on? What can Ganji do to finish it? That's not going to be helpful. That's a pathing thing for Ganji. He clicked the castle, and the bombard cannon went the whole way around instead of this way. That's a bombard cannon down, meaning he doesn't have any. Shout out to you, Genoese crossbowman. Very close fight. I mean, this eco for Barles, it is all going to disappear eventually. He needs a push to be happening here. And I'm just not quite seeing it. Ganji's got time to add farms with these vills. Ganji's got time to mass some siege, mass some hand cannons. He's still holding some control here, holding some presence here. Maybe these villagers can escape soon. I thought there'd be a bit more pressure here, and the Karambit Warriors were the answer for the Treb, apparently. But, oh, God, they're going to disappear. Oh, what a great fight there for Ganji. Ganji keeps the Treb alive, kills all the Karambits, and now it seems like Barles might wither away here. There's also, I mean, there's also still fires around, right? So there's there's no question that the transport's in jeopardy. And now I'm not seeing the monks in a position to maybe hit these cannons. You can't use the monks against the trebs. But if you're behind by 50 eco and 30 military and you're using your trebuchets against the enemy trebs, that's a bad sign. And yeah, the monks went in for the cannon and all got sniped. Barles just has too little. It's all too late. And what a great comeback, I think you could say, from Ganji. Now, what made this so cool is Barles, he got crazy damage in with the play on land, which then set him back behind water. Basically, if Barles didn't deny that TC originally, he's super dead and we don't even see the rest of this game. Because he invested his wood into forward docks and his wood into archers and, you know, delaying his castle age a bit, and subsequently lost water because he wasn't producing to defend his fish. So it was kind of cool to see the pros of controlling land and then the cons of it as well. But honestly, I think Ganji adapted super well in this game. Like, obviously, he needed Loom at the start. But when you see a player falling back against the game plan and having to add the knights there, typically that's a really bad sign. But it worked out well. He then was really quick to add Light Cav. He researched Light Cav immediately after he realized there was a monastery out there. And the Light Cav found some good harassment. He expanded his fishing eco consistently too. He then found the counter landing and used the Light Cav here. It was impressive. So back and forth game, honestly. And I think Barles actually had more of a chance than he showed in Imp. I think he honestly just didn't have the wood and the gold to be able to make more trebs and monks. That was it. If he had like an extra 600 gold, 600 wood for some reason, I think he could have snowballed more and Ganji would have struggled. But yeah, 2-1 KD. That now means it's 1-1 in this series as well. And that one had me hyped. Really well played. Great game from both. And with everyone mattering, man, it's going to feel a whole lot better in this killer group to end this 2-1 instead of being on the other end of a 1-2. Or wait, I guess the other end of a 1-2 would be 2 as well. You know what I mean, okay? So, YouTube, let me know your thoughts. Is this the best migration game you've ever seen? Have you even seen a lot of migration games? I don't know. It's definitely up there for me. I think what was cool about this one was all the tiny details. We got to see the landing get countered, but we also got to see why Heavy Navy can counter the landing. There was the walling of the choke points, the conversions, the trebs, the transporting, the landings. It was truly epic. Oh, and by the way, if you haven't seen that best migration game ever, and you can put up with 5 years ago T90 casting it and older graphics, I think it's worth it. The game's in the description. It is ridiculous. Thanks for watching. See you next time.